Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, General Jackson. I actually don't have a question about the projects that are identified, but I want to go to a part of the last part of your testimony when you talked about the RFP that's coming up for non-federal projects. I think that you said that the published date in the Federal Register is going to be May 19th, and then proposals submitted by September 16th. When our Maryland delegation met recently with our Army Corps district leaders, and it was very helpful to understand all the projects that were going on in the state, one of the things that came forward was that we are not receiving the level of non-federal projects in this new environment actually for the last couple of years, and I'm concerned about that. I know that I've sent letters out to all of our municipalities and leaders to try to get them to at least look at submitting projects. But my question is more what the Corps does to reach out at the local level to educate, to inform, to try to more aggressively to seek out those non-federal projects, because the concern is that while I think there's been a lot of aggressive work to work through what's in the pipeline now, the question is down the line what will be in the pipeline, and that only comes when you do the feasibility studies and then the investigation. So I wonder if you could speak to that, and then more specifically what's being done, if there's anything in each district over these next several weeks to do that kind of outreach.
Well, thank you for that question. I can't address specifically what Baltimore District, I think, is doing locally. I'll find out, and we'll close the loop on that. But generally speaking, we have mounted a significant effort because we realize that if we're not communicating the process, if we're confusing people with our process, or people aren't aware of the timelines, then we're going to miss a lot of great opportunities. And so we are very vigilant to that. We have, first of all, tried to make sure our own team knows what right looks like. So we spend a significant amount of time and effort internally to our Corps of Engineers with our districts and our divisions, making sure they understand the process, making sure they understand what they have the authority to do in terms of outreach to different communities and municipalities to help folks understand how to participate in this effort. So we've done a lot of that. We have also made sure that the Federal Register is updated with the right information. We have hosted a kickoff webinar. We use multiple opportunities within social media, both at the district and division level and the headquarters level, to talk about this program and the milestones and the way that folks can participate in it. And we continue as we go. I get a lot of opportunities to speak to stakeholder groups and local communities as I travel around as part of my duties. And we take the opportunity to talk about this program when we have those stakeholder meetings, local meetings, et cetera, to try to get the word out. I'm a believer that there's always more ways to improve, and so we'll continue to look at how we might do that better. And certainly we'll work with your staff to make sure if there's some gaps in our process or our communications plan that you see or your staff sees. We certainly want to take advantage of closing those gaps with increased communication. We believe this is a good program, but again, like all things, we can always do better. But we are committed to making sure that everyone understands these opportunities and how they participate, and that we make sure our communications gets out to the lowest level to sweep up all these great opportunities that you described.
But just as I close, is there a reason that there hasn't been a new study approved by resolution since 2010? It's a long time.
Ma'am, I can't address that. I'll have to get an answer and close the loop with the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Denham.